I think I owe this to my uncle. My uncle used to take us to all of these different resorts and hotels that he used to manage. And as kids, I've always grown up spending every single holiday with him and the family in all of these places. And I've always been fascinated by, the kind of relationships that he has shared with the staff, the immense respect that he has got every time we go somewhere, the way he was taken care of and the way everybody kind of, comes up and took care of us has always been playing on my mind ever since I was a child. And I think this was a no-brainer for me, that I did not have anything else in my mind as to what other field I wanted to choose. I've always known that I wanted to be in the hospitality sector, and I always knew I wanted to do hotel management. That not necessarily just as a woman, but I think all of us in this industry have a challenge of timing. The industry is such that it demands the long hours that you put in it. So unless you really enjoy what you're doing, it's not the industry for you to be in. I think one of the other challenges is also with the mindset of people. To kind of give you an example, one of the things that always comes back to my memory is when I came back from abroad, and I was working as a bar manager, and I said, yeah guys, come on, let's go and get started and let's set up the bar. And all of them started carrying one thing or the other, and I reached out to carry a crate of beer. And the next thing I know is I just have like 2 or 3 of my team members next to me saying, madam, please, you leave it, we will carry it. For me, that was very odd, because I don't come from that kind of a background where I need people to do something for me. It's something that's part of my job, and I do it, and it's a very natural thing that comes to anyone. It's a lot of regional differences that I have noticed. So even within the country, I have had the opportunity to work at different parts of the country. For a lady to work behind the bar, I did that in Delhi. And then that was okay. People didn't see it as anything odd, or people just accepted it as part of, the everyday routine. But for me to come back to Chennai and try to do that was a completely different ball game, because there it was looked at as being, it's more of an orthodox kind of a state, and people look at it and say, what is a lady doing behind the bar? So saying that, I also want to, mention that it is competency at the end of the day, and it is not about how long you have served with the company, or, how close you are to members in the team. But it really, what it all boils down to is the fact that how competent you are of handling that role, how successful can you be, how can you add value to the team and to the company. And I think that's been a challenge, but for me to overcome that and to have proven to everybody that yes, I do deserve this, and I do deserve to be where I'm at, has been a very fulfilling experience. So I still wanted to point that out as a challenge for women in this industry. So what has evolved in the industry is great, not only for me, but I'm also happy that there are a lot of women who have come into this industry and at leadership roles, and have completely changed what the industry is today. So it's great to see that that's happened. So whether it's something that's very new for me, I always felt that it will keep throwing new challenges at me. And facing challenges, learning and growing is part of how you evolve into the person that you are. I've been able to cope because I just try and spend a lot of time with them in understanding the whole process of brewing. the care that goes into selecting the ingredients that we use, the creativity that goes into coming up with these ideas of new beers. So I've just kind of made myself a part of all of this. Most importantly for me, the most satisfying thing so far has been to be able to educate people on craft beers, which was new to me as well, but I'm in a position now where I'm able to now impart that knowledge onto the guests who come in. Great to see that people come in for the first time and they've never had craft beers before. So to kind of make them understand of what this is all about and what's great about our beers, and they have a lot of questions, very simple, very complicated questions. So sometimes also I get questions where, you know, it's a learning for me as well. So I kind of ask people and I learn and then I explain to the others. So it's all been a process of learning more say, and that's how I think I'm getting better at it every single day. And like I said, it's still a long way to go for me to learn the nuances, but I'm coping and I'm learning every single day across. Personally, what I have learned and what I have implemented as or followed as a principle is to make sure that I am in some way an inspirational leader for my team. Till date, get a lot of my old employees who message me or call me saying, you know, you've been a role model, you've been really inspirational to us. It's because of you that I managed to do this. To have grown from a position that they were in to where they are now, it feels very good to hear that you've kind of inspired a lot of people across the way. And you know, what I feel personally works is being that leader who is approachable, being that leader who you know, is a friend when you need, but at the same time, you know, of course, you have to do what you have to do as a leader of the team. But just kind of making the work environment great for people. So whether it is empowering them, which has worked really well for me individually, I have tried this out in many companies. So the more you empower your team, the more reason for them to stick around because they feel like they've been given importance in the team. To take care of them and treat them as just another individual, as a human being, goes a long way. So, you know, you got to be fair to them. You got to sometimes do what is right as per your heart and not always think from your mind. The first and foremost for me is how they accept their shortcomings. So rather than them sitting there and trying to tell me this is all the stuff that they know and they're great at, where somebody turns around and they say, look, I do not know this, I am not comfortable with this, I've never done this before, but I'm happy to learn. That shows a lot of quality. And these days, when somebody actually asks questions that are relevant to their job profile or are showing interest in trying to understand about the company, or you know, what is their expectations of the company from their role, so that again gives me a lot of satisfaction, or you know, some kind of happiness to know that yes, we are in the right direction or looking at the right person. So these are the two things that I look for. And two things I absolutely abhor. One, if they are not genuine, where they come in and they try to be very fake and try to talk in a way or put across things which clearly comes across to you as them not being themselves. So number two for me is seeing somebody who associates success only with money. So when somebody's sitting there in front of me and everything that they say or everything that they ask only revolves around how much money that they are going to make, then it is something that straight away is a red flag for me, because I always look for people who can think beyond just the monetary contribution to their success.